let's talk about the business side of this, right? Because really, all of us are in business to what? To make money. And as we know, the basis of our industry is all about recurring monthly revenue, all about RMR. So, and I'd mentioned a few minutes ago about the fact that our industry is shifting towards more of a services-based industry, especially in the commercial end. But maybe you can talk a little bit about like the business or the money side of this. Like, let's talk about like integration type revenue as well as RMR opportunities. Maybe you can speak about that just for a couple of minutes.
Well, yeah, obviously this is the remote guarding services can be sold obviously at a much higher price point because it offers a much higher value. And so your traditional CCTV system, if you will, is sort of a non-producing asset. You had to convince people to spend maybe 30, 40, 50, $100,000, whatever the case may be, on a CCTV system that was just really sitting there recording. And so what remote guarding allows the integrator to do is not only are you able to push a system sale, but because you're providing the ROI with the value of the remote guarding services. And once that ROI is presented, then you're able to push your system through, because now it's an asset that's going to give production, whether that was replacing a guard and giving an ROI, or whatever their security budget was. You're encompassing much more of that budget than you ever did before. And when they're going to present that to the CEO to get the budget approved, now it's not just a big hunk of electronics sitting on site that they just spent $50,000 for, and hopefully maybe it records whatever they're looking at. And so you're as a company, as an integrator, you're trying to build your RMR, right? That's where the value of your company really is. Somebody's going to give you at someday, hopefully 30, 40, 50 times multiple on your RMR. And so it may take you, let's say, 1,000 accounts at $30 on a burg alarm, and only 100 accounts selling video RMR to be at the same level, right? And it's just a much higher value. It's easier to sell because of the ROI, and it's giving your company valuation a much higher value. And then not even just think about the day-to-day too. So I grew up in the integration business. My dad was an integrator for years. I pulled cable in high school and put in cameras, and I saw the daily struggle, which I think most integrators, you hit a certain level, maybe you don't have the struggle quite as much, but you're, covering your payroll and making sure your ADIs and your annexers are paid on time, that sort of thing. And it's that cash flow, right? And so you hit a certain RMR level that you're able to cash flow these things easier. And when you're selling, it only takes maybe 100 customers or 50 customers to really get that RMR up there. And then all of a sudden your cash flow problems become less and less and less from an operational standpoint. So there's tremendous value across the board, from an operation to a valuation of your company to an easier way to sell to your customer, because you're creating ROI for your customer as well.
Yeah, completely agree on that, Daniel. And these are things that we see as well with the groups that we work with as well. So thanks for sharing that with us.